Hey YouTube, it's King Nazaru. Sorry about the delay on the video. We had a power outage in Baltimore, so wasn't able to upload this on the time I said I would. Today I'm going to talk about a few topics. Uh, the season 2 finale of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero and the season as a whole. Uh, well, I might as well say the series as a whole because as it turns out that the show has been cancelled. Uh, Turns out Marvel wants to do a new Avengers series based off of the Avengers movie, which was an obvious success. I'm also going to talk about the Amazing Spiderman game because I've gotten it on my birthday last Wednesday. And as a new recent topic, I'm going to talk about how people think of what people think of the Amazing Spider-Man movie and how many people have misconceptions of what really Spider-Man is supposed to be about. Because there's been some mixed reviews on it. Okay, let's start off with the Avengers. Avengers season two was a pretty good. It's basic summary. It starts off with the Skrull invasion. The Avengers have been infiltrated a by a Skrull who has taken the place of Captain America and has slowly started to divide the team through usage of mistrust or by any other form of manipulation. Also, the Earth would be weakened enough for the Skrulls to take over. That was like the first half of the season. They also featured the Kree, who also were uh, interested in Earth, see what they could yield towards their empire. They also introduced the Nihilists, uh, Surtur, Thor villain, kind of like a. I think if I'm right, Surtur's like Norse mythology's or the Marvel comics equivalent to Satan, because they pretty much have it like that. But they don't go much into Surtur because well, the season two finale ended on a cancellation. They also had Galactus, which was the last episode, which was pretty awesome. Um, I my only complaint about that, what I really like about that episode, is because that they realized that Galactus was a being that they definitely could not stop. It was nothing they had ever come across before. It's not some villain. It's not some kind of being like Loki. This is a lot better. This is a force of nature they're up against. There's it's practic- Galactus is unstoppable. So they had to get all their allies: Black Widow, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Luke Cage, uh, Iron Fist, War Machine, everybody the Avengers ever made allies with, they had to get. Uh, and they had to go across the entire globe to stop Galactus and his heroes from feeding off the planet's energy. But they feel like, but they since they realize they can't uh, defeat Galactus with with their usual tactics, they figured we have to think of a way to get Galactus off our planet and find another energy source. So they send him off into the negative zone, which is pretty clever because the entire negative zone universe is filled with the energy that Galactus feeds off. So he will pretty much have no reason to leave. And all overall, this has been a really great series, one of Marvel's best. It's best in Spectacular Spider-Man. And my thoughts on the new Avengers series that they're going to do that's based off the movie is that I just hope it's not like Ultimate Spider-Man where they try to make it too kiddie and they throw away something that could be potentially awesome. Okay, next I'm going to be talking about the Amazing Spider-Man game. Uh, Put it simply, if you like Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and you like Spider-Man, you're going to love this game. It's got great acting, great combat, free roam, a lot of extras options. Like you could do a challenge where you smash everything as the Rhino if you pre-ordered from GameStop. If you pre-ordered from Amazon, you could play as Stan Lee and have all of Spider-Man's powers. I don't know how that works out because I didn't pre-order from Amazon. I pre-ordered from GameStop to get the Rhino challenge. And you get to face a whole lot of villains like Vermin, Iguana, the Lizard, Alistair Smythe, Black Cat, or as she's supposed to be right now, Felicia Hardy, because she hasn't gotten her powers to be Black Cat yet. At least not until later on in the game. For those who play, you'll know what I'm talking about. Uh, let's see who else. Well, obviously the Rhino, and there's probably some others. I can't think of the top of my head, but it's pretty good. Um, they gave you a lot of options and variety towards this game, and I think it's a really Beanox really stepped up what they could do with Spider-Man, and what they've definitely made another uh, superhero game where it was based off a movie and yet it didn't suck because there's only like a few of them. Uh, only things I can think of like Spider-Man 2, which was based on the Sam Raimi movie. I think X-Men Origins Wolverine was also a good one from what I've heard. And then there's this game because this is awesome. And what makes it awesome is because it's not completely based off the movie. It takes place like a few months after. But from what the developers said, that they have worked really closely with Marvel, and Marvel has given them the okay to consider this game canon. So whatever materials in the game is going to be canon towards the movie. And in case you're wondering, yes, you do get costumes, such as the symbiote suit from the Sam Raimi's universe. I mean, from the Sam Raimi movies, and you'll also get the Amazing Spider-Man movies version of the black suit. I'm not sure that's going to be how it look in the movie. Might look a little bit different, but it's just like probably like a prototype. And there's others like the Negative Zone, the inverted black suit. I mean, not the inverted black suit, inverted Future Foundation, the uh, regular movie suit, the cross species suit where you become like a man spider, and a whole lot more. So I definitely recommend you get this game. Now to the other topic about Amazing Spider-Man, the movie. A lot of people's reaction. It's been mixed from what I've heard, and the problem is that people don't understand what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. They say that he's acts like a dick. He's not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we know. He's they just copied off of what Sam Raimi did, and I just gotta go like, what? Are you people really this clueless? Are you really this ignorant of what Spider-Man is like? Read the comics. Know your source material if you're going to review something. Look, Spider-Man is a wise guy, yes, but there's a reason to it. It's because he was a nerd before he got his powers, and when he got them, it gave him a boast of confidence. Maybe a slight bit of cockiness, but that's to be normal because he was always pushed around, and when he got those powers, he finally felt like he didn't have to be pushed around. And another reason why he does this is a tactic. It's called jocularity at the face of danger. So basically, you're making jokes to hide the fear that you feel that you're going to die if you screw up, and to make your enemies so worked up that they'll start making mistakes and you can exploit their weaknesses. That's a very clever tactic. Spider and copy off Sam Raimi. Do you honestly think that Sam Raimi came up with Spider-Man? Are you really this stupid? I'm sorry. But there was no other word that can describe somebody who doesn't know where Spider-Man came from but stupid. Just plain stupid and ignorant. Spider-Man is a comic book icon. He is Marvel's flagship character. And some of you people now think that Iron Man is, but no, Spider-Man will always be the flagship character. The first people you think of are Spider-Man and Hulk when you think of Marvel. Just like with DC, you think Batman and Superman. Now, the reason why Sam is the same, and the reason why there are similarities to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Mark Webb's Spider-Man is because it's copying from the same source material. He's a geek. He gets bitten by a radioactive spider or a genetically altered spider, as they might have it in the movies. Uh, and he gets spider powers. He goes through a tragedy with his family, and he becomes a superhero to act more responsibly. Responsibly-ish. But that is still his origin. It's a comic. It's not going to change. That'd be like saying just because Batman lost his parents in both Tim Burton's movie and in Christopher Nolan's movie, that means Christopher Nolan copied off Tim Burton. You know, you see? See how stupid that would make you look? Okay. Another problem was that with the viewers, they said they had a problem with the lizard because he didn't seem quite humanish, didn't have that Jekyll Hyde personality. Okay, look, it's still kind of there, but they worked it in a different angle. From what I've heard, they tried to make it seem like it was a drug addiction. Like, he's addicted to what the lizard DNA extract does to him. Like, it gives him his arm these lizard-like abilities such as enhanced strength, protective armor, and even though it does cause him to lose his human mind towards the lizard side of his brain, he feels like he's being slowly addicted towards it. Don't get me wrong. Even as a lizard, in some twisted perspective, he's a good person. He wants to help people. He has no ill will towards people. He wants to help, as he said in the featurette. He said, "All these souls, lost and alone, I can save them. I can cure them." He is still a doctor inside, and he wants to help people who he feels he can help with his science. But the problem is that he did a science that was past what was natural, past what God intended, and he's paying the consequences for it by becoming this monster that is slowly deteriorating his good nature and mind. And that is a really interesting angle to take with the lizard, instead of turning into a cliche Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde scenario. And to add, from what I've heard, they do have this part where Dr. Connors talks to the lizard, and they share a dialogue with each other probably as a morality thing. Now note that I haven't seen the movie, but I will intend to see it tomorrow on the 4th of July, and I will probably go more into depth with this and give my own personal review. But as I said, the people who dislike this movie for the clearly uncalled for reasons need to read their source material. And another thing, if you want, you could go buy the Amazing Spider-Man game because it has comics, several good comics where you could get to know Spider-Man, like his first appearance, the first appearance of his villains like the Lizard, the Rhino, Scorpion, the Black Cat. Well, Black Cat's more of a love interest and an anti-hero than a villain, but still. So much more that you can finally understand what Spider-Man is. Heck, even Tobey Maguire gave his approval, and even though he didn't portray Spider-Man right in the same Raimi movies, he is a Spider-Man fan. So, yeah, think about that. you need to take another look at Spider-Man. So, anyway, folks, I'll see you around.